World War II saw the rise of an alliance that would plunge the world into unprecedented destruction, the Axis powers. Germany, Italy, and Japan, each with their own ambitions, joined forces to create a formidable military coalition. But what drove these nations to unite, and how did their combined strength shake the foundations of the world? In this video, we'll dive into the formation and motivations of the Axis powers, revealing the dark ambitions that almost changed history. The first Axis powers. The Axis powers, a notorious military alliance in World War II, initially formed by three major powers: Germany, Italy, and Japan. The strength of the Axis powers was later reinforced by the participation of Yugoslavia, Slovakia, Hungary, Romania, Croatia, and Bulgaria. On September 27, 1940, at an important conference in Berlin, the key three powers officially signed a treaty, marking the formation of this military alliance. At that time, World War II had entered its second year, and the Axis powers were in a dominant position on many fronts. Nazi Germany, under the leadership of Adolf Hitler, had controlled most of Western Europe, including Poland, while successfully isolating the United Kingdom. Italy, under the command of Benito Mussolini, had annexed Albania, occupied part of France, and established control over Ethiopia and Libya. Meanwhile, Japan expanded its significant influence in Asia, controlling Korea, Manchuria, a large area of China, and many strategic islands in the Pacific. The rapid expansion and formidable military strength of the Axis powers spread fear and instability throughout the world. Japanese fascism. Although achieving many initial victories, by 1940, Japan began to feel its position becoming fragile, especially regarding the supply of raw materials, mainly oil and steel. As an island nation with limited natural resources, Japan depended almost entirely on oil imports, with the United States and the United Kingdom being the two main suppliers. However, the U.S. imposed sanctions, imposed in response to Japan's aggressive actions in China, began to have a negative impact on Japan's expansion plans. The Japanese Navy was particularly concerned when it realized that their oil reserves were only enough for 2 years. Japan realized that the oil supply from the Dutch East Indies, the resource-rich area they were targeting, was vulnerable as the Netherlands had been occupied by Nazi Germany. Moreover, with the UK facing the threat from Germany, the entire Southeast Asian region, including the Dutch East Indies, became unstable and potentially fell into the hands of the Axis powers. By joining the Axis powers, Japan hoped that the alliance agreement would prevent Germany from declaring sovereignty over the colonies in Asia, thereby ensuring Japan's interests in the region. However, Japan's main goal in joining the Axis was to intimidate the United States, the country they saw as the biggest obstacle to their Pacific hegemonic ambitions. The Axis Powers Treaty gave Japan the freedom to act in Asia and the Pacific, recognizing this area as Japan's sphere of interest. With support from this treaty, Japan began to adjust its war plans, focusing on confronting the United States. Japanese leaders realized that to achieve their hegemonic goals, they needed to disable the Philippines, a crucial U.S. colony in the region, and attack Pearl Harbor, the main naval base of the U.S. in the Pacific. The removal of the Philippines from the U.S. military bases list will help protect Japan's vital transportation routes. However, the Japanese government also understands the superior strength of the U.S. and believes that any war with the U.S. must end with a beneficial peace agreement for Japan. It should be noted that the sanctions against Japan originated from its brutal invasion of China in 1931, which escalated into a large-scale war in 1937. Japan's aggressive war caused the deaths of millions of innocent Chinese people and left indelible scars in human memory, with horrific war crimes such as the Nanjing Massacre, genocide policies, and the use of chemical weapons. After France surrendered to Germany, Japan quickly took advantage of the situation to advance into French Indochina, seizing strategic ports and important raw material sources. This move further pushed Japan's plans closer to East India and the abundant oil resources of the region. Fascist Italy. Italy, under the leadership of Benito Mussolini, became a fascist nation from the 1920s and officially signed the Steel Pact with Nazi Germany in 1936. These two countries shared the same ideological foundation, both pursuing extreme nationalism, right-wing ideology, and authoritarian regimes. However, Mussolini recognized that Italy was not ready for a large-scale war at that time. Among the three Axis powers, Italy had the weakest industrial and military foundation. Nevertheless, Mussolini still nurtured the ambition to make Italy a powerful nation on the international stage. Mussolini cleverly used nationalism as a tool to appease internal issues and social divisions in Italy. He believed that future conflicts would be catalysts to strengthen national unity and consolidate the power of the fascist party. With Germany, a formidable military power, as an ally, Mussolini felt more confident in pursuing his expansionist ambitions. Any war against Britain, a vast but dispersed empire, now seemed easier for Mussolini. Mussolini always dreamed of turning the Mediterranean into Italy's home pond, like the mighty Roman Empire of ancient times. He hoped that war and conquest would bring Italy the resources that the country lacked, such as oil and rubber. With that ambition, Italy officially declared war in June 1940 and launched an invasion of Egypt, a British colony, on September 13, 1940. 2 weeks later, Mussolini signed the Tripartite Pact, officially joining the Axis powers with Germany and Japan. Nazi Germany. Nazi Germany, under the leadership of Adolf Hitler, was considered the dominant power of the Axis. Since coming to power in 1933, Nazi Germany had clearly expressed its ambition to restore Germany's status as a great power and eliminate the restrictions imposed by the Treaty of Versailles in 1919. To achieve this goal, Nazi Germany eliminated political opponents within the country, especially communists and Jews. By 1936, Nazi Germany openly disregarded the Treaty of Versailles and began a large-scale rearmament. They displayed increasing military and political strength to annex Austria, remilitarize the Rhineland, and occupy the Sudetenland region of Czechoslovakia. On September 27, 1940, Germany, Japan, and Italy officially established the Axis with the initial goal of ensuring collective security. According to the agreement, if a member of the Axis was attacked, the remaining two countries would have the obligation to provide military support. Hitler wanted to expand the Axis by attracting governments with similar goals. Romania, Hungary, Bulgaria, and Croatia joined the Axis, mainly out of concern for the Soviet Union's expansion. The Axis, especially Nazi Germany, entered World War II with a clear plan to establish a new world order based on their totalitarian ideology. Nazi Germany quickly demonstrated its superior military strength by defeating Poland, Denmark, Norway, the Netherlands, and France within a year, from 1939 to 1940. This victory was achieved through the Blitzkrieg, lightning war strategy, a revolutionary military concept that combined the power of tanks, air force, and mechanized infantry to create overwhelming advantages on the battlefield. The next goal of the Nazi regime was to occupy Eastern Europe, defeat the Soviet Union, and create a vast living space, Lebensraum, for the German people. Hitler believed that controlling large territories in the East would provide Germany with abundant natural resources that the country was lacking, including oil, iron ore, and food. In the first 3 years of World War II, the Axis powers achieved significant victories and gained control over most of Europe. However, the war situation changed dramatically after Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, dragging the United States into the conflict. Although the United States initially declared war only on Japan, Hitler and Mussolini decided to declare war on the United States 3 days later. This was a grave mistake that plunged the Axis powers into a comprehensive war of attrition against the two most powerful military nations in the world, the United States and the Soviet Union. This decision ultimately led to the failure of the Axis powers.